Distraction Relationship Broadcast. I am your host, Dr. Ingrid Durr. Today we're going to talk about expectations in marriage relationships. But first of all, we're going to deal with what we expect before we cross that bridge. In relationship, a lot of times we have expectations on how the marriage is going to be. We come from two different backgrounds, two different histories. We come from two different surroundings, two different settings in our life. And we have a certain expectation of how we think marriage should work and how we think marriage should be. There are three different things I want to bring out, mistakes that we make in our expectation. Just assume that a couple, they agree on various issues, and they figure that, well, I agree on these different things, so they don't discuss it in details. They figure they agree on certain things, so they don't discuss issues. Because they figure, we think the same. We have the same thoughts. We like the same things. But when it comes down to the reality, they don't realize how much they don't know. But it's so important in relationship, before a person even get married, is to sit down and talk about everything. So that's one of the mistakes, that we assume that we know everything that the other person like or the other person don't like. That's an expectation that everything is going to go smoothly, everything is going to go well. Oh, I know he loves me, she loves me, no doubt, everything is going to be fine. Well, that's just part of the hype of the marriage concept, that everything is going to go well because you get along well. But when the reality comes in, it's important to know what's in the person. It's important to know those different factors. Another thing, another mistake that we make is that sometimes we have disagreement on certain things, and we don't know how much we really disagree. We think it's light. We think it's don't mean a whole lot. We look at it on the surface. We don't agree with this and that when it comes to raising children, when it comes to school, education, when it comes to business, finances, and all that. And you think it's no big deal. You don't talk about those things. You don't talk about the details of it. And you don't realize, later you realize how much you do disagree. You realize how much you don't understand one another. So it's important to know what's in the person. Know what their expectations is. Know what your own expectations is. Talk about those expectations. So there can be a meeting of the mind. A meeting of the mind, meeting of the heart. Why I say that? Because sometimes we don't always agree on everything 100%. As a matter of fact, I don't know anybody or any couple that experience agreeing on everything 100%. But one of the things that you have to do, you have to agree to disagree. In other words, if there are going to be some disagreements, you must make up in your mind that you're still going to come to some form of agreement. Because remember, we come from two different backgrounds, two different histories. We have two different way of thinking about different things. But you have to agree to disagree. So, if there's going to be problems or issues that may come up when you agree to agree on certain things, in spite of the things you disagree with, then that's when the harmony comes in. You know that you're able to work those things through. One of the other issues that we make mistakes on is that we pretend that we agree with everything, especially before you get married. You act like or pretend that you agree with everything that he likes. You like you like to go to that sport. You like to do this. You like to do that. You like movies. You like this. You like that. And vice versa. He agrees with everything that she want to do. She might like the, like street life, like to just club and like to party and like that. And so he may goes along with it all the time while they're dating or courting. go to the parties with her, go here, hang out with her and all that. But then, deep down inside, that's really not his cup of tea. It's not really something that he really enjoyed doing. But she thinks it's something that he likes. And so, she's going on with emotion, and he's going on with emotion, not realizing that sometimes people can put on like that front as if you agree with everything, the way you're doing things, your lifestyle, what you like, and all that. We agree like that. We think we do. But we're disappointed when we cross that bridge and get married. We find out the truth of the matter. We find out that person really didn't like football. That person really don't like going to the movies and or going out partying or going out doing different things. That person really don't like. That person like to have quiet time alone. That person, all types of things begin to come out. And then we're like, wow, what happened before we were going here? Before we was doing that? Before you like my dress is short? Before you like me wearing tight pants? Before you like this? Before you didn't mind me hanging out with my friends and guys and going here and going there fishing all night? Before you didn't say nothing about this. Well, that's where it comes in with expectation. We enter into a relationship with expectations. Nothing wrong with having expectations. We should have expectations. But the thing is, if we don't have realistic expectations, then we're going to be disappointed later on in the relationship. So it's good to have realistic expectation, knowing what the person like, what they don't like, being real. Just putting it all down, laying it all down, put the chips on the table, and let the person know who you is and what you like or what you don't like. That comes in time, and we're going to deal with that later on some later broadcasts. We're going to deal with stages of relationship while you're dating, while you're single, while you're looking for someone to be a lifetime partner. We're going to deal with the stages that we have to take in consideration in those stages. What take place in those stages? How will you know if you're moving too fast in a relationship? How will you know if you're moving too slow in a relationship? How will you know that this is a very good prospect? This person is a very good prospect. She will make a healthy wife, and he will make a healthy husband. You all will make a healthy marriage. That you will have a healthy future. What are some key factors to look into that would determine that? Yes, you can determine ahead. It don't take 3 or 4 or 5 years to know if a person going to be for you or good for you. Sometimes you can, with the basic education and basic understanding, you can know in less than 1 month. In less than 1 month. And I ain't trying to sell you nothing either. But in less than 1 month, you can know if the person will be good. There's factors to look at. There's so many things that we're going to deal with in the later broadcasts. Even all the way down to when you're going out to the movies, or when you're going to the show, when you're going to the movies, when you're sitting down eating at a restaurant. Questions to ask. The individual, because that will bring out what's in him. You even know if he's lying. You'll know if she's lying. Some people put on the front when they like somebody or they're attracted to one another. They put on this front, try to pretend like that everything you've been looking for, this is it. But I can teach you and show you a way how you can pull out some things in a person to know what's really in them. Know the real person, know the true person. What's some of the questions you can ask a person so they can be open and be transparent about it, because it's so important. Why? Because if we don't understand expectations in a relationship, sooner or later we'll be disappointed when things fall in, when things just fall out. So again, with some of the questions you want to ask about the person's career. We want to ask their career. We want to ask their experiences. What have they experienced in the past? I mean, some people say, well, you shouldn't have to go through a whole resume with a person. No, it's not like you're interviewing anyone, but in a way, in a sense, you are interviewing in a way. You want to know if this person is going to be good for your relationship. You're looking at having a lifetime partner. So in a way, you're not. They say you're not interviewing, but in a way, you is in a way, because you want to find out health issues in the past, or things that's affecting him or her now. You want to find out what they think about finances. How do they save money? How do they spend money? What do they cherish? What do they value when it comes to money? You want to look at how they spend their time. What do they spend more of their time in? Do they spend more time reading books, or spend more time building their business? Spend time with relationship? Do they value the time with their families? Just all that is so important. You want to understand and ask them questions, especially, and I want to deal with this again, with the finances, because you'll be surprised that could be the very thing that caused many people to go to the divorce court. Is there any form of support that'll help maintain the family? Is there any future cushion for financial support? You want to look at that. You want to look at the goals of the individual. You want to look at the visions. Men have visions and women have vision. Is it possible that your vision can come together, that you can work together? Even though he have concepts on vision and working things out as far as building his business and building his career, and you have some too. If the female have some too. So yes, you both can do what you're called or have a grace to do, but yet you can do it where there's still consistency in your marriage. So it's about bringing balance to the relationship and whatever you're doing. Bringing balance in the relationship. So it's okay that he's pursuing a particular career that's different from yours. What makes marriage good sometimes is even having two different flavors. Two different flavors, and you're bringing your flavors together. They said 31 flavors. That's what makes 31 flavors so good, that you have a choice, you have a variety, and you can enjoy it all. Yes, you can enjoy the marriage with the different flavor and the variety in the relationship. What he have to offer and what she have to offer, and bringing it together and seeing how it can work and bring balance to make a whole person, to make a complete person. So that's what it's about. Marriage is working together. So as we enter into marriage or preparing for marriage, we want to look at the factors of what it takes. Look at the factors of what it takes to make a healthy relationship. That's why counseling is wise. A lot of people don't like counseling. They say, well, I don't need no counseling. I know what I want to do. Yeah, but the purpose of healthy counseling, which I call therapy, relationship therapy. Matter of fact, we can eliminate the word counseling, because that kind of throws up a red flag when it comes to a lot of people, because they like, well, I know relationship, I know what it takes, I know what you got to do. But the purpose of marriage or relationship therapy, the purpose of it is so you can look at things in a different angle. Not just through your eyesight, but through the sight of someone else. Look at it on the other side. So it's like it's exposing things that could possibly or ever be a problem, that you're able to deal with it if it were to come up. And it's good to be ready. It's good to be prepared. It's good to be prepared for if something was to come up. if she start acting a certain way, if she's under stress, if she's under pressure. When a person is under stress and under pressure, they have a tendency of reacting and doing things a totally different way than what you least expect. So what do you do? How do you know when she's under pressure, under stress? How do you know when he's under pressure, under stress from his job, that he's got a lot of things going on and pressure that's waiting on him? How do you know those factors? And what do you do when that person is in that situation? You want to look at it because it's a reality of life. It's just a reality of handling things properly. So relationship therapy, counseling, as you would say, is one of the things that help prepare for a healthy relationship. Because sometimes a person can meet a really nice person, a person that will really make them a good spouse, but if they're not careful, they'll sabotage that relationship because everything is flaring up from their past. They're thinking that this person have a potential of being like my ex, or being like that person, or my ex-boyfriend, or my ex-girlfriend, and the very slight thing that comes up, then it throws that flag up. And then before you know it, you sabotage your relationship. I'm just out of here. I just don't want to go any further. I don't want to talk anymore. I don't want to, and then you're all out of whack, not knowing that there may be some good qualities, good values in that person. And so while we're going around, running around, going from person to person, trying to look for the perfect mate, a lot of times that don't happen. Sometimes you'll never find the perfect mate, as they say. Perfect. That they got everything in place, everything in order, everything is just, hey, wow. That you'll never have any issues or never have any problems. Can a marriage or a relationship becomes perfected? Yes, it can. Yes, it can. It becomes perfected through building that relationship, pulling out the weeds and anything that try to come up and choke out the very life of your love, the very life of your relationship. Some things will come and try to choke it out, try to choke out the joy of the relationship, the fun part of the relationship, the health of the relationship. And it would just drain your strength. It would drain your love. You got to get rid of those things. You got to eliminate those things. And then you move on to building the relationship. How do you build on a relationship? Well, first of all, the foundation. The foundation has got to be solid. We're going to deal with that later in the next several broadcasts. Foundation. How do you know the foundation is secure? How do you know the foundation is solid? What makes the foundation of a relationship to help you start off into a long-lasting relationship? Some people, they say, well, I don't even want to get married. A lot of times people say they don't want to get married, they don't want to commit a relationship, is because they fear what could happen. Sometimes they fear of going to the divorce court. They fear of failing in the relationship. That's a fear. It would always start you off on the wrong page. You want to eliminate the fears in your foundation. Eliminate the fears. Deal with the issue. Eliminate the fear. Letting the past be the past. And moving on. Moving on into a healthy relationship. Because everybody's not the same. Just because a person might have been hurt before in the past, don't mean that the next person come along in your life is going to hurt you. So that's why we have to let go of the past. And we got to look at the factors. And what's so good about when you're dating and when you're talking with someone about building a relationship, what's so good about it that when you see, or if you can see that this won't work for you, then you can get out of it. You can get out of it. You can get out of it by simply closing with the right mindset. Because if you end the relationship fussing and fighting and arguing, some people, they can't get out of a relationship unless they hate a person. I don't know if you've experienced that. Some people they just start hating the person and then they can break away from them. No, if you feel that a person is really not right for you by a lot of factors that we're going to be talking about in this broadcast, then you can clean cut, easily stop that ongoing relationship like that. Don't go no further. Just put him or her in a category of a distant friend. The reason why I say distant friend is that, you're not hating each other and you're not threatening one another, but you know how to end a relationship, bring closure to a relationship by letting this person know, hey, I don't feel to go any further. You're a nice person, but I don't think that there's a future for us. You can continue the relationship just as a distant friend. But if it is someone that you want to pursue the relationship in, if it is someone, then you can continue to build that relationship. Don't sabotage it. Don't sabotage your relationship by building on what you had left off at with the old relationship. You want to start a fresh relationship with that person. You don't want to pick up the old blocks, the old chips from the old relationship. Don't start off talking about all the negative stuff that person took you through. Well, he did this and he did it, she did that and she did that. No, you don't want to enter into a relationship even pulling up all that baggage. Sooner or later, there's a stage where you can talk about those things that hurted you and bother you. But there's a time for that. There's a time for that. But if you bring that stuff up too soon, you're just dumping it all out at one time. A lot of times that's when we sabotage the relationship, because you're going to that person going to begin to put up flags. They're going to begin to put up walls already, because you're just telling them about all the stuff you went through. You went through all the drama, the baby daddy drama, the mama drama, you've gone through all those type of drama. All the things that you experience, and you just presented it and just throwing it out. Well, this is what I've been through, take it or leave it. This is my past. This is me. I'm being transparent. I'm being open. But sometimes you can't just throw all that stuff on the table at one time. Why? Because you're going to make a person run from you. They're like, that person, I don't know about this person. But one thing we must understand, that everybody had a past. Childhood upbringing is a key factor, and sometimes we've had negative experiences in our childhood life, and that in our childhood life, that helps bring our ideas together. It helps bring our thought life together. It helps brings our thinking. It helps makes us who we are. And sometimes it's a negative childhood experience that we have to unravel out of our spirit. You have to unravel that out of your life and out of your lifestyle. You have to move on from that so you can move further into a healthy relationship. Is there hope? Yes, there is hope. There is hope when you had negative experiences in your life. There is hope to having a healthy relationship. That's when you know how to move on. When you know how to move on. Not covering the hurt, but actually recovering from the hurt, recovering from the past, and moving on in the relationship, and then starting your fresh new relationship in a nice, healthy way. And be determined that this is going to work, that this is going to work out, especially when you know that this person had met the foundation, they had met what your expectation is, the reasonable expectation. Now, if you're not looking for a person to be a drunkard or alcoholic or a drug addict, then you don't want to look for that person in a crack house, or you don't want to look for that person on the corner. When you meet the person in a healthy environment, that's a good place to start off even looking for a relationship if you're looking for one. In a good, healthy setting. You don't want to go to the wrong corner. You don't want to go to the wrong place and expect him or her to be something different. If you don't want a person to be a drug addict in your life and have that kind of negative experience and pattern in your relationship, you don't want to look for a person at a crack house. That's not what you want to look for. If you meet somebody at the bar, hey, well, if that person have a pattern of drinking and knowing that his or her behavior, they lose contact with who they are because of their drinking, then you know that that person has a problem. And that problem become magnified in the marriage. So, what do you look for? What do you look for in a relationship? I'm just throwing out some things that we're going to be talking about more in the broadcast. We're going to be digging deeper. We're going to be bringing more details, narrowing down these different subjects, these different topics that I just brought out to you. Also, I want to make mention that there are many outreach programs that we have available that we'll be presenting to you and making it available to your community. We also have Without Distraction Relationship Broadcasts. We also have Without Distraction Relationship Conferences. We host them in several states, in Illinois, Wisconsin, Atlanta. We'll be hosting one soon in Texas. If you'd like to have the Without Distraction Conference in your area, in your community, feel free to contact us. The number is on the screen. Contact us, 708-745-4393. You can go to our website, withoutdistractionrelationship.com. That's withoutdistractionrelationship.com. Go to our website and we can tell you more about how we can host the conferences in your area. Until then, be safe and be blessed. Thank you.